Life's Adventures, being your best self through soul evolution. And I want to talk about this concept that I developed over the years called applied spirituality. What is applied spirituality, and how is it important to your own growth and development as you're thinking about your soul evolution or your spirituality, the direction that you want to head on your life path is integrated into your sense of self and who you are and your higher self, as well as an understanding that the soul has certain needs, understanding concepts, precepts, understanding principles, understanding how do we take these life experiences that we've had in our life and continue to have in our life, and how do we apply it to everyday life, everyday experiences, the good, the bad, the indifferent. How do we apply it? And this is a concept of applied spirituality. Spirituality is about the essence of who you are, about your belief, as well as the sense of knowing that there's a higher purpose and direction in your life, and not always knowing what that direction and purpose may be, but you have a sense there's something more to life. There's something in a higher way that you're here to fulfill, or maybe meet other like-minded individuals interested in fulfilling their life mission or direction. The applied is that if we can take those concepts you believe in, universal principles that you've garnered over the years, and even down to values, and you apply it into when life experiences are really happening for you. What are you doing? How are you integrating it? Do you forget about it? Or do you settle into understanding, okay, this is experience I'm having right now. And what is the higher meaning? What is the higher purpose to this particular experience or situation or circumstance that I find myself in? You have pins that you need to hit. You line the ball up, see what, and then through speed, you move that ball down the lane to hit a strike or hit a spare or a few pins. Even if it goes into the gutter, you're living life and you're enjoying the experience of going bowling, being around family members, or you enjoy being at work and being able to accomplish things at work, but are you applying the spiritual principles? In bowling is some individuals will go and be very specific about the arrows that are on that lane, and they try to line the ball moving down that particular arrow. They're applying a particular approach to be able to hit the pins by looking at those arrows and how they line up, and then try to roll the ball where those arrows are on the ground. If you've been in a bowling alley, you'll see them. You roll it down that, and then it gets you a spare, it gets you a strike, or just get your few balls, but you have a process by which you're utilizing that helps you to be able to apply that ball and go in a particular direction. Well, we need the same thing for our living. Are we aware that there are certain universal principles? There's concepts like the law of cause and effect, the law of reincarnation, or the law of attraction. For example, the law of attraction is that what we send out will come back like a boomerang and impact upon us. So we might as well work on trying to send out positive things, positive energy, positive thoughts, positive feelings, so that can roll back to us in some positive way. But that is up to God, the Lord, the Creator, about the timing and the process by which this is to occur. Looking at life and applied spirituality, I want to be able to look at these things as it relates to relationships, as it relates to work and leading at work or working on a project. And how are you, when things get really tough and stressed, what do you end up doing? Do you revert to kind of old behavior, which is kind of the human behavior, or do you move towards more of the divine approach? And what that divine approach is, we'll be talking about in this particular YouTube as well as podcasts that I have at drjudithmla.com, in which I talk about these foundational stones that are helpful to know and have an awareness about, so that you can be able to be more intentional and conscious about how you're moving forward. So getting back to that analogy of the bowling ball is that we can keep on practicing and get better and better at it. Why don't we practice understanding that our soul has certain lessons it needs to learn? And how do we unite with that awareness and look at things through a different lens? And not just through the lens of the personality, but also through the lens of the soul. And what might the soul be learning from each experience that we go through? But there has never been a textbook you can look at and say, oh, these are the lessons for life. What we have to do is be more observant. Using applied spirituality means being more observant, being more attuned to the fact that these experiences coming up, do they have the particular patterns that are keep coming up for us that maybe our soul is trying to learn. And once it learns, that theme no longer comes back up for us. Or it circles back around, but it circles back and around in a different way that allow everyone to know yourself as well as your soul and the God source, which is the creator, to know that we are passing those tests and initiations given to us. So applied spirituality is about you, about how you want to integrate spiritual principles into your life, what that looks like, and knowing that it's not about always getting it right. It's more about keep on trying, keep on doing your best, and know that through the refining process, you start having more discerning wisdom and understanding about the direction you want your life to move in.